This is Garrett J. White, the authentic entrepreneur, coming at you real, raw, and relevant from my basemento again. I just wanted to give you a comment on two particular things this morning. Number one, isn't it amazing how absolutely phenomenally perfect a shake is when you make it? Check that out. This right here is my breakfast. It's kind of my breakfast after the breakfast. I just got done doing body boot camp. Sorry, not body boot camp. Boot camp by Les Mills on my TV in my basement. My wife has the DVDs because she is a licensed certified boot camp instructor. And my sister-in-law runs a gym. Give it a shout out to Dash Fitness Studios. Dash Fitness Studios here in Salt Lake City, Utah. Aaron Wathen, you little entrepreneur goddess alike, get it on. And I have made some declarations. Now today I'm going to talk about the power of declaration and what you get to do when you declare something. Here's the funny thing about declaration. Is that declaration itself is something we tend not to do because once we do it, we want to be in alignment with it. Dr. David Cialdini in the book Influence talked about this in the law of commitment and consistency. And that is that when we as an individual make a commitment, we stand in a place of commitment in a particular topic, a particular place, a particular conversation, we find ourselves in which our outer world, we will seek to create harmony and balance with what our inner world commitment was. So when we say, all right, I'm going to be a boot camp instructor, and I say it to you on this video, and I put it on my Facebook page, and I say it to my friends, and I say it to my family, and I say it to my loved ones, and I say it to everybody else, and everyone I talk to, I say, I will be a boot camp instructor or body combat instructor by the end of this summer, and I will be a total ninja. And I'm going to launch an entire program called the Warrior Training Program, which is going to deal with body, mind, spirit. And we're going to start with body combat. Then we're going to start with mental combat. Then we're going to start with spiritual combat. And we're going to deal with those three planes. Anyways, that's just kind of all coming to me right now. But the principle is declaration. How often do you not declare things simply because you know in declaring them that the law of commitment and consistency will engage? Which is once you make a declarative commitment, that everything in your actions will become something that attempts to create alignment or consistency with that commitment. This is something that's interesting for me because I tend to declare a lot. People say, well, Garrett, you know, half the stuff you declare, you don't actually do. Yeah, I totally get that. But here's the funny thing. I declare all the time what I'm going to do, not because I'm going to be 100% in it. There's a book by Seth Godin called The Dip, and he talks about how we get into situations in our lives where we make commitments or we make choices and we find ourselves in a particular situation. And what we're experiencing at that point is we're experiencing a situation of, okay, either a cul-de-sac or a cliff or some other path, right? Meaning sometimes the choices that we make because we made the commitment or we want to be consistent with it, we'll just dance around in the cul-de-sac our whole lives and it totally sucks in the cul-de-sac, right? The other game is that we head to the cliff. We just and the other option is that when we know we're in the cul-de-sac, instead of going to the cliff, we just head another direction, right? We go down the street. You know, it's like the little story that my friend Kelly MacArthur says about life in 5 chapters. Chapter 1, I got up this morning. I walked down the street. I fell in a hole. Sitting laying at the bottom of the hole, I got very pissed off, angry, and I blamed everyone around me I could think of, and then eventually climbed out. Chapter 2. Next day I woke up, walked down the same street, saw the hole, fell in the hole. Fell in the hole, got pissed, blamed some other people, etc., but this time I got out of the hole a lot quicker. Chapter 3. Walked down the street, saw a hole. Walked around the hole. Fantastic. Had a good day. Chapter 4. Got up, walked down the street, saw the hole, walked around the hole, put a sign up so that other people wouldn't walk in the hole. Step 5, got up, walked down a different street. How often, though, do we get in that situation where we're in the cul-de-sac where we fall in the hole and we keep falling in the hole and we want to blame somebody else, put up signs, and we just keep going the same direction? It requires us to go a different direction, and for me, this is what happened in fitness. I kind of am burnt out a bit on the endurance running. Endurance everything. Not a problem with that. I just want different endurance. Like my mind's not stimulated by anymore. There's no more fear in it. There's no more anxiety in it. Teaching body combat classes from the front, yeah, I'm not that coordinated. I'm not a ninja. I'm going to become a ninja, but I'm not a ninja. And it's funny because that same process of making declaration is the same anxiety I had when I first started saying I was going to do a marathon 5 years ago. And then I did 100-mile plus marathons, 156-mile marathons, and here I am going to do a body combat instructor and lead an entire course and launch an entire series of trainings called the Warrior Workshops, which are body combat, mental combat, spiritual combat, and getting you to a place to be at full maximum power. So the question for you is, what are you going to declare? What is your big declaration for the day? What's your big declaration for the week? What are your big declarations for the year? What is the power of declaration in your life? And when are you going to start showing up and declaring the things you want in your business and the things you want in your life? This is Garrett J. White reminding you to be real, be raw, be relevant, and most importantly, to be authentic.